welcome to the Hollywood Scholar. I'm Jed Morgan, and with Chris Chibnall's divisive run as the showrunner of Doctor Who coming to an end in the near future, we must look back at why the show has been so divisive and so polarizing to the many fans. Once upon a time, Doctor Who was a revered show, beloved by fans and critics alike, watched by millions around the globe. But in recent years, those numbers of fans have dwindled, dropping down near just a few million, eroding away the loyal fan base who had been around for over 50 years. Now, anyone who's seen the show and the writing quality thereof would agree that politics were the primary focus and that they were fashioned into a baseball bat in which to beat the audience over the head with it. No better exemplified than the creation of the timeless child, erasing all of Doctor Who's previous history to retcon the character into a little black girl who was born to be great and then was experimented on by colonists and forced to be a white man to agree with their misogyny and sexism that the Gallifreyan Society had. That alone demonstrates where they were coming out of this creatively, that there was no creative heart or soul behind the character. And that's in every form of entertainment these days. They're just like, oh, Superman's gay. All right, Jonathan Kent. Now tell us more about him. What's his character? What's important to him? What does he care about? Oh, he's gay. Anything else? No, he's gay. Okay. As a writer myself, I've written gay and trans characters and a lot of other characters that fall into those type of, let's say, progressive roles. And I firmly endeavored to make sure that they weren't just the gay character. They weren't just trans. There's more to them. Every one of those characters that I created, had a character arc for. I had a goal they were striving for. I had people they cared about. I had relationships. They had flaws. And that's the number one thing that these creatives cannot possibly show in modern entertainment with these types of characters, these progressive characters, is a flaw. The Doctor never makes a mistake as Jodie Whittaker. The 13th Doctor never struggles, never tries. When she nearly dies in the Flux at the season closer, it's like, I'm gonna get you. And then she just like waddles away at the beginning of the next episode as if there's no danger. And that's what you call compelling storytelling. No. And the previous Doctors all had moments where you saw flaws. The Time Lord Victorious, especially with David Tennant's run, was a vastly relatable moment for someone who had lost so much but had so much power. You could see why he would give into it, even just for a moment. That was a flaw in his character, but it made him such a good three-dimensional character that we all loved and cared about. And even in his performance in Human Nature and The Family of Blood as well, when he played John Smith, that emotion, that drive, that fear. Jodie Whittaker has not shown a single modicum of the type of depth, charisma, heart, and failings that her predecessors did. Now, that's mostly because of the writing she was given. If you're not given good material, you're not going to have good of a shot of making a memorable performance. In her, one-note accent that doesn't portray emotion. She's always like this. It's never up and down. There's no inflection. There's no quiet moments. It's all just the same thing. But even in bad episodes, the previous Doctor stood out as great characters, as great role models, as vibrant beings that the world around them took note of and embraced in a way that Jodie Whittaker didn't. She was tacked on to every scene she was in and never struggled. You can't relate to someone who's perfect. You can't. And that's why Mary Sues, as they're so often called, aren't good characters. And I don't want a Gary Sue either. I don't want a character who's perfect and just magically knows everything and gets everything right. It's the struggle, it's the drive, it's the character arcs that make them into what they are, into relatable characters that people sympathize with.
I've watched universes freeze and creations burn. I have seen things you wouldn't believe. I have lost things you will never understand.
Doctor Who was once a compelling story about this mysterious man from a faraway world who would whisk people off into incredible adventures full of heart and simple human kindness. And that's why Doctor Who was special. It wasn't crazy explosions, high action, which I love in its own right, but it focused on the morality, the philosophy behind such scenarios, and always try to find a non-violent solution that was still entertaining and compelling. And sure, there were political allegories before, and they were done subtly and with great precision and care and done professionally. Now, they've erased everything that made Doctor Who special and just weaponized the propaganda of the BBC to make the show completely devoid of character or heart or choice or will or anything even remotely correlating to a story worth watching. No, can Doctor Who be saved? I don't know. The Timeless Children did more damage than anything. Even more than The Last Jedi did to Star Wars. It did so much irrevocable damage. Well, perhaps not irrevocable. There is one easy solution, and I pray to all the gods on high that Russell T Davies will do the one simple thing of erasing the Timeless Children, preferably erasing Jodie Whittaker's run entirely. But if he can erase just the Timeless Children, it'll bring back so many people, because that fundamentally changed what the character was and made it so politically divisive. When that's your motivation, when that's what you want to do, when you want to create controversy, if you want to point at people and say, ooh, racist, misogynist pig, you're never going to write a story worth telling. You're never going to write anything compelling or relatable to which the audience can latch onto and say, heartfelt, amazing show, and this incredible industry, which I've devoted so much of my life to, enjoying and understanding. Hollywood is on the brink of destruction. Doctor Who is a perfect example why such storytelling that Hollywood is propagating cannot last and cannot endure. It will fail. Go woke, go broke. No truer words said. Anyway, if you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next video. Anon. If you like what I do here, I want to see good, compelling stories that Hollywood will no longer give you. Check out my book series, Odyssey of a Phoenix, a mythological epic driven by philosophy, morality, and modern-day mental illness issues. Book 1, Down in Flames, and Book 2, Apocalypse Then, currently on sale. Book 3, Kill the Dark, coming soon.